Hello, welcome to another episode of Reality Time with me, Tabo Banda. Thank you for tuning in. Today I want to address something very important, the state of politics in our own country. As we know that our hope is deteriorating, we are losing hope every day in our governing party, the ANC. But in our own mind, the question still remains, if not the ANC, then who? Who is going to lead us? Is there anyone besides the ANC who is capable of leading us as a country? That question remains unanswered to the majority of South Africans. So coming 2024, who will we put our hopes and dreams to? Who will we use our right to vote and support? In the past 5 years or so, South Africa have embarked on the politics of race. I think now than ever we are going back to the politics of race. We're seeing South Africans being divided, further divided than before. We see white people pulling on their own direction, seeing colors pulling on the other direction. We're seeing black communities, they are even disunited themselves. So it's very bad. So after the failure of Mosimaimane and the DA to unite the country, because of the DA over time, they exposed themselves that they were actually for white people. So after the failed attempt of Mosimaimane to further the agenda of Nelson Mandela to bring South Africans together, to unite in their own diversities, South African politics have taken a turn to further divide themselves in racial groups. And then we see this with the emerging of this party, Patriotic Alliance, whom they are unapologetic that they are representing the minorities, which are the colored communities. They feel like the ANC did not do them justice, were abandoning them, and then were actually referring them as black people. And on the other hand, when services are supposed to come, services were not coming. So they formed this party to actually push and to represent their own interest. And then we see also with the FF Plus, we all know them, that from 1994 they've been for white people, for white minorities, for white interest. And then now we've seen with the DA, they've exposed themselves that they are a white party. And then another evidence that shows that we are divided as a country is to see the organizations such as the AfriForum, which only represent the interest of white people in this country. Then we also see the BLF, which is a / political party, but they haven't participated in the national elections. They're also for black people only. Then we see EFF also, they are for blacks and for the whole Pan-African and the African agenda of black people. So having said that, it makes it very difficult for us ordinary South Africans to choose a party that we can feel comfortable with to represent us. So in the past we knew Nelson Mandela wanted to unite all of us, wanted to unite South Africans, to have our own identity and our own goals. But now with this, with the conditions that we are living in, I think most importantly is because of the division that we are in, the blame game that we keep on playing as a country. So we need our own, the next Mandela, but not only Mandela as an individual, but Mandela as a party of leaders who are united in their diversity, who are going to represent all groups in the country, that will unite all the groups in the country. For example, at the current moment, besides disrespecting other leaders like Dalimpofu and Boysen Ndlozi and the likes in the EFF is like a one-man show of Julius Malema. Then if Julius Malema, something will happen to Julius Malema tomorrow, the EFF will be no more. If you look at Action SA, is Herman Mashar. If you look at Patriotic Alliance, is Kenny Kunen and Gaten McKenzie. So we don't know anyone besides those two. So instead of having a party of individuals, we must have a party of leaders. We can learn from the successes of the ANC. In the ANC, there's never been one dominant person. There's always been, it has always been a party of leaders. There are a number of leaders from the past, from the ANC, who were very much powerful, who had influence, who were very active in the past. So we need the replica of the ANC. So we need a party of leaders that is going to represent the dynamics and the diversity of South Africa. So for example, in the black community, we need a party that will address their fears, their interests. In the white community, we need a party that will also not to neglect and deny the white people's existence, that they also have their own fears and their own interests. You go to the colored community, also the very same thing. You go to the Indian community, also the same thing. So that party is not here. We don't have that particular political party. So I call upon South Africans who are leaders, who are visionaries, to form such a movement. Because if we don't now, I see a 10 years or 20 years of coalitions in the National Assembly, which will not benefit the country. I think it will slow a lot of things, because of the country won't have one agenda. We'll have a lot of agendas. And then you know, in this unity there's no progress, and the poor will suffer in the process. So as a country, we must have pressure groups. Currently we have the one that is very active. We have AfriForum. It's for Afrikaners. It's for whites. We need pressure groups that are diverse. We need political parties that are diverse. And then if a political party will emerge now, which will represent and which will preach unity and will represent unity, I think that political party stand a chance to govern this country. But all of those who are preaching division, nationalistic approach, we are colors, we are blacks, we are this, we are that, we are not going to win. Even in the black community also, there's still divisions, because others will argue that black people are the majority in this country, therefore if they unite they will rule the country. But there are divisions among themselves. You see the EFF, you see Action SA, you see there are a lot of parties now, DOP, a lot of them, and they are divided. Then you ask yourself, why do you have PAC, why do you have EFF, why do you have BLF? Those people, they seem to be preaching the same message, but still they are still united. They're still divided, I mean. So what do we actually need? We actually need unity in this country. We have to listen to each other. We have to listen to each other. That one is very important. We can't move forward without listening to each other. I don't think we are hearing each other. I think to ignore the interest of white people, to ignore the interest of black people, to ignore the interest of colors and Indians communities is to further destroy this country. We can't afford to destroy ourselves as South Africans. We are all South Africans. There's no one who is a better South African. So I urge everyone, all the individuals, to not fall to this trap of division. We must not be divided. You are as much of a South African as a black person and a white person. You are as much South Africans. You are all equal. So we must find a way to coexist. We must find a way to make this country great. I thank you.